Welcome back to BHP After Dark.
After Dark.
Yeah, it's
Benja, we got a new name.
we put a little vote out there on Reddit.
Well, hold on. First of all, who are you?
Oh, I'm Benjo.
And I'm B.
But yeah, we put a vote on Reddit and YouTube.
And y'all have spoken.
YouTube only got one vote. That may or may not have been me.
We don't need to. We need to reveal how many. As far as they know, there were hundreds of thousands. There were more votes than the American presidential election.
One of the votes on YouTube may or may not have been me.
So y'all have spoken, and apparently the British History Podcast wrap-up show was too confusing for some of y'all.
Let's not. I agree with y'all.
Let's not alienate our listeners, our viewers. But the last thing we want to do is confuse Jamie's work and Z's work whatsoever.
So this graphic that's popping up here now, this is our new logo. Yeah.
So BHP After Dark, y'all have spoken. You selected that from Talking BHP, the BHP Review, and an open-ended one. So we've listened, and we are now BHP After Dark.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And thank you for listening wherever you're getting your podcast, YouTube, podcast app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Benja's my producer here. My producer and co-host has got us on everything. If you want to watch us, it's on YouTube.
Yes.
But I don't think any other places you can watch us, right?
No, there's no other place you can watch us. But if you're interested, like if you're going on a walk, if you're in the shower, you got a little shower speaker. Because YouTube, if you turn off your phone, then the video is just completely off.
That's right.
So if you're
in the shower right now, you missed a spot.
On a road trip, family wanting to listen to the BHP After Dark.
Right. Anyway, Benjo, it's exciting. We're on season 1, episode 24 today, called what?
Another British Empire.
Yeah.
I feel like this has gone by very fast. I look back at like how long we posted the episodes ago. I mean, our first episode was 7 months ago.
Was it really that long ago?
I know it doesn't.
We've been creeping. We had a lot.
More than half a year.
We had a lot going on. We had music,
sports. At one point, there was a spread where we didn't post for like a month.
Yeah, we're going to pick up the pace here. Now, we're posting these on Reddit, posting on Facebook. Well, maybe we need an Instagram page or something.
And y'all can find us on other apps too. So
yeah. But we're really going to pick up the pace here. Benjo, I just got finished with the play. When I say the play, that's what we know it as around here. But Bright Star, Steve Martin, bluegrass musical. And I'm not an actor. I was just in the orchestra, but it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming to see the play.
It was a great play.
I won't even give any spoilers, but it's I didn't know anything about it, but I'm a theater kid now, and so anyway, that's over with. What you up to?
Nothing much. I made the Greenwood High junior varsity golf team.
Nice, Benjo. Can't wait to watch you. So that's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? This isn't about us. It's about British history.
One more thing. Cobra Kai comes out Thursday.
This guy's jacked up about. He's low-key glazing Cobra Kai. Anyway, Benjo, let's get down to it. Last time we were talking about Emperor Dioclesian. You remember him?
Yeah.
All right, so
how did last episode end again? So
last episode ended with Emperor Dioclesian and Emperor Maxemius were essentially deemed themselves co-emperors of the Roman Empire. Maximian took the west. Dioclesian, I'm assuming, took the east. And you had an Augustus and then a Caesar. So the emperors were Augustuses. And the Caesars were juniors, right? So they're supposed to, in theory, be 4, right? And Maxemian hired Cuerasius, who was a very capable military leader. And I'm not sure whether he made him like a Caesar, like a junior emperor, or whether he was just a military leader. But anyway, Cuerasius was
who hired Cuerasius?
Maximian.
Okay, and he's one of the West.
He was the Western emperor. And if you remember, there were raiders in the Roman Empire, and Cuerasius was taking care of the raiders.
And then he like kept all the money to himself.
Yeah, he wouldn't return the loot to the people who just got it stolen.
He kept it to himself.
Yeah. So anyway, that led to
Dioclesian.
Maxemian putting a hit out for Cuerasius. And what did Cuerasius do when you get in trouble? Declared himself emperor. Remember how that ended last time?
Oh yeah,
if you get in trouble, you just declare yourself emperor. But he declared himself emperor just of Britain. Anyway, so Dioclesian, what he did was he claimed that he was divinely appointed by Jupiter. Basically said, God put me, a Roman God put me in charge on earth, right? And while this surprised me a little bit, Jamie says that would have been shocking for the Roman people, for someone to claim that they were divinely appointed, right? I would have thought they would have done that already. But the reason for doing that is, you can't, if someone is accepted as divinely appointed, you can't overthrow them, because then you're overthrowing God.
Yeah.
Or a God. They're polytheistic, I guess. They had more than one God. But anyway, Emperor Diocletian wasn't popular, but that was as with a lot of rulers throughout history that claim they're divinely appointed. Maybe that's the reason they do it, so they don't get opposition. Because you can't oppose God or a God.
Because it's honestly a good tactic though. Because smart.
And a little foreshadowing. We're going to see some more of that this episode. So anyway,
I'm not saying it's like the best,
the right thing to
the right
do,
thing
but
to do,
but it's smart, right? So anyway, Britain was striking out on its own with Cuerasius as its leader. And you got to remember, we're in the year 286. This is 250 years since Boudica. That's a long time.
Yeah.
There was not a ton of emotional attachment to Rome itself. They were inspired by Roman culture, but at the end of the day, these were Britons. A lot of them probably didn't even know, like the local Britons, they probably didn't know who the Roman emperor was. Just your common dude living in the interior of Britain.
Like, I don't know who the Slovakian emperor is.
Well, but the Slovakian emperor is not claiming to be your emperor. The Roman emperor was also claiming to be the British emperor, But no, I see what you're saying. So anyway.
Wait, but I feel like that is kind of weird that the Britain people didn't know.
Well, but in 286, it's not like they had the internet.
True.
And
it takes the travel is you got to send a letter or whatever. Right. That's gonna take
forever,
weeks.
And I'm sure some of them knew. A lot of it, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit. A lot of it was like propaganda in coins, like the coins that people used. They were minted showing Cuerasius or
like the current emperor.
Right. And
that helped with
it seemed like a little thing.
So the civilians could keep up with who the emperor
was. That's right. So anyway, Emperor Diocletian from Rome, I guess the eastern part, was a soldier at heart. He was seeking taxes to pay for his campaigns, and he was a strict disciplinarian. So he wasn't very popular. The Britons liked having a local emperor who understood them. And Rome really wasn't protecting Britain from the raiders along the coast. Remember last time we talked about this was the first time that the Britons were the legions, the British legions, were more concerned about raiders on the coast than they were about the rebellious tribes in the west over here or the north, the Scots, right? So anyway, Cuerasius, we talked about Cuerasius. He declared, he was accused of not returning loot. He got in trouble. Maximian put a hit on his head. So he just said, I'm the emperor of Britain. So Cuerasius was from Belgium, was present-day Belgium, though. And so he had a lot of ties, and he owned land, and he had forces on the continent in addition to Britain, right?
Yeah.
But Jamie says, we're not exactly sure how he convinced the British legions to support him, but he did.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a fleet. And Jamie reinforces this a few times. Romans, while they got around everywhere and they were good enough sailors, they weren't like experts.
Yeah.
But Cuerasius had an expert naval force, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we really don't have a ton of great sources here, but Jamie mentions, imagine someone having land in France and ruling Britain. When could that happen again? Foreshadowing to where I am currently in the podcast, the Norman invasion. I got another new episode today, by the way. So I have 2 new episodes I haven't listened to. Pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And you got to listen to an old episode for us to
wrap
up.
I do. Always.
After Dark it?
After Dark. We happen to be After Dark right now.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be 99% of our episodes. I can't remember. Maybe one of our episodes has been during the day.
No, more than that. We did one outside. We've done several outside.
We've done 2 outside. One of them was during the dark, and one of them I think was in the morning, it was also kind of.
Well, dark. We got to during the summer.
The lighting is better when it's dark outside too, though. Like because is shining here, and then the light is shining out here.
Well, in a month from now, the time's going to spring forward, and it's going to be later longer. Anyway, Benjo, we talked about. Jamie says Cuerasius had at least 2/3 of the British legions. We just don't know whether he had all 3 of the legions that were in Britain, because the 6th legion, again, we was telling you we were going to talk about coins a little bit. The 6th legion.
So wait, why did you say 6th?
Just kind of funny.
Kind of sound like you were saying. Kind of sound like you were saying 6th. Like
6th.
Like you put an F in there.
6th. The 6th legion was not on coins like the other 2. So again, a lot of what we know is from these coins.
Were they using different currency, or were they just weren't using money at all?
No, they were using coins, but 2 British legions were on the coins as supporting Cuerasius. 6th legion was not. We don't know whether that's because they didn't support him or for another reason.
They just didn't have anybody on their coin. It was just a regular coin without a person on it.
I think it had Cuerasius.
Well, then how would
maybe list of the legions.
But then they would.
I don't know.
They would know who it is then.
Right.
But you just said the 6th legion.
Well, the 6th. So I'm assuming the other 2 legions were named on the coins, but the 6th legion was not. We don't know whether that was because the 6th legion did not support Cuerasius, or they weren't included because of something else. We don't know. But anyway, because of this strength in the naval fleet and the forces that he had, including in Britain and on the continent, Maximian couldn't advance to defeat him. Maximian wanted to kill Cuerasius, who used to be his right-hand guy, you know. So Emperor Dioclesian, remember, in Rome, was worried, or at least the theory that Jamie puts out there is that he could have been worried that Maximian would align with Cuerasius against him. So Dioclesian promoted Maximian to Augustus of the West, which I'm going to be honest, thought he had done that last episode. Okay? But Jamie says he did it. And I've got a note here, thought he already did this in the last episode. Okay? But now they're both divine. They're both divinely appointed by God, right? So, but Maximian just didn't have the support with the troops in Germania to take him. So guess who else? So the Dioclesian and Maximian, co-Roman emperors and Augustuses, both claim to be appointed by a Roman god. Cuerasius also claimed to be divine. Okay, so you've got three guys.
At this point, I feel like just a random citizen on the Roman streets, she could just be like,
right.
"Hey, this Roman guy told me that
right.
I should be king, so
I'm
gonna be king."
I know.
And then he would just be king.
You're exactly right, Benjo. So specifically, Cuerasius started calling himself Marcus Aurelius Malseus Cuerasius.
I thought we already saw him, Marcus Aurelius.
Well, so what he was doing was he was trying to compare himself to the last of the great emperors, in Roman lore. So anyway, Cuerasius was garnering support. He was seeking the support of the British elite, which the Romans didn't. They were kind of just, they didn't care about the British elite, right? So Cuerasius was cozying up to them, trying to get their support, because this is the difference in Cuerasius and Postumus. Remember Postumus?
How can I forget Postumus?
I know. Postumus just wanted to be the emperor of Gaul. Remember the Gallic Empire?
Yeah, I mean that was the guy who I was low-key glazing.
You were high-key glazing him, but anyway, Cuerasius, unlike Postumus, he did want to be emperor of Rome. And he wanted to expand. He declared himself emperor of Britain, but he wanted to expand that empire, his empire, to include the Roman Empire.
Uh-huh.
So we're in 288, 289 now, and
so basically, he kind of wanted to like take over the Roman Empire.
Right. So remember, Maximian wants Cuerasius dead. He gets some troops together, and he sets out to take him out. Nothing happens. The Roman fleet returns to the continent.
They just like don't attack.
So the story from Rome is that they turned back because of bad weather. The story from Cuerasius is that they turned back because Cuerasius beat Maximian in a naval battle or some type of battle.
Wait, so
we don't know. We don't know for sure.
Wait, Maxemius went with his troops.
I don't know where Maximian was positioned, but it sounds like he was leading.
If Cuerasius' point of view was right, then Maxemius went with his troops. Because you said he beat him in a naval competition.
Well, in a battle, in some type of battle.
So it didn't mean that specific battle.
Right. I mean, we don't know whether there was a battle. We don't know whether whether Maximian his troops really did turn back.
You said he beat him in a naval battle, like a naval battle before that.
Maybe I threw in naval battle. Jamie didn't specifically say naval battle, but it was kind of implied. It was a battle victory because they, as I understand, turned their boats back because of bad weather. You got to really be able to have decent weather and follow the wind. To
know like where you're going.
Right. Or else you'll get lost. Now they could have had bad weather on land, and then they could have just fought through that. You know. But I'm assuming it wasn't. If there was a battle, it was a naval battle. That's an assumption I'm making. So I mean, kill me. I mean,
naval battle was like in the sea.
Right. So anyway, Cuerasius could claim that because they turned back, it was proof of his divine status. So like everything that happened, everything good for one side, they could just claim it was because they were divinely appointed by a Roman god. And so anyway, his troops had a morale boost because for whatever reason, whether there was a battle or bad weather, the Romans turned back. But Emperor Dioclesian's government, although I mentioned before that he wasn't popular, his government was performing well. So Cuerasius knew he had to go on a campaign. So he tried to get Maximian and Dioclesian to recognize him as a third co-emperor, which would have involved another junior.
How did they respond to that?
What do you think?
I expected them to say no. I just didn't know if they did anything extra, like tried to go out and kill him again.
Well, I'm sure it didn't make him happy, but Rome said they were not interested. So Cuerasius built forts along the coast to protect what he did have as an empire, and I'm taking it to mean he also built some forts along the British coast.
You told me you weren't going to need that.
I know, and then I'm assuming because he had lands in France too. And Cuerasius made coins showing himself as co-emperor along with his brothers Maxemius and Dioclesian.
So it was a 3-man coin?
According to Cuerasius.
How did they go far, or
I don't know.
He just produced some of them and they just
That's a good question. That you can learn a lot about the reach of an empire or a government by coins. I would love to see some of these old coins. Whenever
they have them in museums.
Oh yeah. I would love to. I mean, I'm sure Wikipedia probably has pictures of them.
Well,
that's the source for. Okay.
Google, Safari.
But what if you Google and it just takes you to Wikipedia? I mean.
Well, what if it doesn't take you to Wikipedia?
So anyway.
Wikipedia probably got that from a different source.
Probably. So Maximian is again, remember, he's the emperor of the West, and he selects Flavius Julius Constantius as his junior, his Caesar, right? Which
I feel like that's just an unnecessary long name.
That's probably one of the shorter ones too. But I'm not sure if Cuerasius was ever officially Maximian's Caesar, or if he was just a general, I'm sure Wikipedia could tell me. But anyway, so Rome would not accept Cuerasius as the third emperor. They didn't want a third Augustus. Yeah. They didn't want a third Caesar.
They didn't want a third nothing.
Right. So in 293,
war is coming.
So
is it gonna be between Cuerasius and?
Man, it's been about 4.5 years since I listened to episode 25. I'm gonna have to listen to it again, and then I'll tell you.
Right. Well, we'll see you in the next episode.
And Benjo, let's keep this up 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah.
How about that?
3?
Let's not get crazy. We're shooting pars. Maybe we get a birdie every once in a while, right?
Possibly an eagle.
But Benjo, possibly. Benjo.
Wait. Albatross?
Albatross. It's been a pleasure doing the first BHP After Dark with you.
Yeah, 25th episode in total. Had a pleasure doing this one with you. I feel like this was another banger.
It was a banger.
Happy to do this with y'all, and see y'all in the next episode.
See ya. Ben B.
I've been Benjo, and we've been the British History Podcast.
BHP
After Dark.
Complete disarray.